The National Wrestling Alliance has a big charity event coming up this Saturday in Highland Park, the suburbs of Chicago. And to tell us all about it and more about the NWA, joining me now on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline, he is the man that you see on set doing all the great interviews. Plus, he is the COO of the National Wrestling Alliance. It's Kyle Davis. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Davis ATL. Kyle, how are you, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm about to get all the things in order for this weekend's events. Got to hop on the plane, do all that happy stuff. You know, there's so many things going on that it's good that there's actually two COs, myself and Joe Galley, two of the broadcast members on NWA programming. So when you see us on camera, just remember we're also trying to make all the other things happen, including this Saturday, Highland Park Rec Center, HP Cares for Cooper, big charity event that we're going to be helping run there. Obviously, with July 4th just happening and the tragedy in Highland Park last year, it was fresh in everybody's minds. Billy Corgan, NWA president, Smashing Pumpkins frontman, loves wrestling. He lives there. Everything that he is a part of is coming together, and we're hoping to raise funds for the family of Cooper there on Saturday, the 8th. So if you're able to go, let's be honest with you. You guys, you don't even need to pay anything. We are hoping donations come in. Go to Eventbrite NWA Tix. That's NWATIX.com. If you want to get advanced seating and better seats and lock in, do that way. Otherwise, show up day of. Donation. It's a great world. Just chill out, have some wrestling. It's for a great cause.
Absolutely. And you and Joe do such a great job. Of course, I know Joe quite well from his work in San Antonio. So great to have you guys doing that for that young man that was shot a year ago. I want to get a couple questions out of the way about the NWA in general. You just came back from Australia. The great tour of Australia with the NWA, as well as Billy Corgan touring with the Smashing Pumpkins. Just reflect on that tour. From all accounts, a huge success all around.
You know, it was one of those things where when Billy said that the Smashing Pumpkins are going to be in Australia and that he wants wrestling to be involved in his shows going forward, we gave it a test run in Mexico City earlier in the year with Worlds of Vampire. And I'm not going to lie, any excuse to travel globally and just say, hey, it's for work, I'm not going to put that down. The logistics of it, surprisingly running in another country, much easier than running in the United States. We have a summer tour coming up here with the Smashing Pumpkins and just trying to figure out the nuances of everything and building venues and this, that, and the other thing. We realized that running a show in Mexico and running a show in Australia, multiple shows in Australia, so much easier when you don't have to really worry about like the standards, the politics, the giant corporations, and all this other stuff of trying to get all these things to balance. Being a rock star looks like it's really hard in life. Professional wrestling is one thing, but when you add music and Live Nation and all these other things into it, insanity. But if you ever get a chance to go to Australia for 3 weeks with the Smashing Pumpkins, may I recommend just do it. It's an amazing place, beautiful. The people are fantastic. I got to pet a baby kangaroo. I got to go to some of the greatest beaches in the world. And I got to stand in front of crowds of people, hold a microphone and say stupid things about professional wrestling. Where can you go wrong?
I tell you what, I was lucky enough when I was in the Army 30-something years ago. I actually got to go to Australia, spend some time. I love that place. I'd love to go back one of these days. It's such a fantastic country, and the people are just they're the greatest. They are so friendly. So glad to hear that the NWA doing so well down under. One other little topic: Camille, the current NWA Women's World Champion, she has surpassed 2 years in this current title run. In fact, she has hit 760 days. I believe she is about to pass June Byers on her reign. She has thwarted all challengers. I know she's got a match coming up on Saturday, but boy, it is hard to pick against Camille, no matter who comes up against her. Where do you see that title picture going as she continues on as one of the most dominant champions, not only in the NWA, but in all of pro wrestling?
I think one of the greatest things about pro wrestling in the modern era is that once upon a time, people could not retain a championship for an extended period. But now we got Camille, Roman Reigns has been champion forever. You have people that are so good at what they do and believable athletes that literally any night of the week that they defend that championship feels like a main event caliber thing. And Camille has stolen the show every show she's been on. which I know some of the men in our company might be a little butthurt about that at times. But guys, you can't stop the brick house. She's a force to be reckoned with, and every time she gets in there, hard hitting athleticism at its finest. She's gone through everybody that's gotten in her way. Here's the way I look at it: attrition. Eventually, if you do something so often, you start wearing down, it starts grinding down, and it is going to be the moment where maybe not tonight, maybe not tomorrow, maybe a week from now, who knows? You could get in the ring with somebody who you would never a year and a half ago expected to be able to be the person that comes out of that match as a champion. But all it takes is 3 seconds, one bad night, and Camille's history could change everything. Up to this point, she's been an unstoppable force. And I look like that's going to continue. But again, one misstep, and it becomes even more of a possibility. The more you do something, the more likely something's going to go wrong one day. So, as a defending champion, fantastic. Nobody's been able to stop her. But could somebody we don't even know that comes out of nowhere? One match, 3 seconds, new champion. I don't want her mad at me. It hasn't happened yet. But 2 years is a hell of a long time to be a champion. Big ups, big props. Congrats.
It's like they say in the NFL, any given Sunday. And you're right. I mean, Patriots, hey, as great as they were, they would lose a game every now and again. And so, yeah, you're right. There could be that unknown
so I get it.
It could be somebody that's not even on the roster yet. But, hey, the future will be interesting to watch with Camille as the world champion. Speaking of world champions, Tyrus, he has all comers, and he's been successful so far, not nearly as long as Camille, but definitely defending that 10 pounds of gold. Let me ask you this: of the current contenders, who do you see as a possible, I guess, who's next for Tyrus to defend that title?
Here's the truth. NWA championships in the singles division kind of have a built-in thing. If you're national champion, you could cash in that championship for a title opportunity for the world title. The TV title that Tom Latimer, which is Camille's husband, is currently defending. If you get 7 defenses, you could then cash that in for a shot. So right there, EC3 is our national champion. Tom Latimer is our TV champion. Those gentlemen have been defending their titles. To be honest with you, both of those men are human beasts as far as genetics go. I wish I looked like them in one way, shape, or form. I'm a short, bald man, dad bod all day, baby. But those two right there on any given day could be a world champion. And again, like I said with Camille, you never know who's going to come out of the woodwork and get a shot at it. Now, in all honesty, Tyrus right now is dealing with a bit of a leg injury. However, he's letting it rest up. We've got the big title events coming up at our anniversary show in St. Louis at NWA 75. He was just in the tag team tournament, the Crockett Cup that we had with Chris Adonis as his partner. And he did a little tweaking there. We'll leave it at that. Man's healing up. He's going to be ready to go to defend the championship at our big show. But coming up, we have a TV taping that's going to lead to that, which is also going to be in Highland Park. So Studio One on Sunday the 9th, 2 tapings at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. So anybody wants that, NWATix.com. See it live and in person. Be a part of everything that builds up to our 75th show and extravaganza.
Yeah.
As I'm also getting text, I'm trying to read at the same time. Sorry, guys.
No worries. And yeah, you're right. Whether it's EC3, who knows what it's like to be a world champion, former 2-time Impact Wrestling world champion. You mentioned Tom Latimer. Of course, there are so many great stars in the NWA. You got Jack Stane, for instance, a former world heavyweight champion. Maybe he decides he wants to carry that gold again. It's again, kind of like with Camille, all comers for that 10 pounds of gold. And hopefully Tyrus does have a full and speedy recovery, and look forward to seeing him on the TV tapings and at the 75th anniversary pay-per-view. Let's talk for a second about HP Cares for Cooper. This young man, Cooper Roberts, who was shot in the horrific shooting a year ago in Highland Park, paralyzed from the waist down, but he has just been through so many surgeries and such, and he is just fighting back. You talk about a young man, 8-9 years old, that has the strength of has more strength than most adults. And so this is a great venture. Just talk for a second about the connection between Billy Corgan and the NWA and this charity to help this young man regain some some of his standard of life, so to speak.
Well, as we discussed that Saturday show, a donation can get you in the door, and all ticketing proceeds from it is going to go directly to the Roberts Family Charitable Fund for Cooper Roberts at Help Hope Live. Cooper Roberts, of course, was the youngest victim of a tragedy, and he has had a life-changing event, as many people have during there. But Billy ended up speaking to the family, and I said Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins frontman, NWA president and owner. He is a local to that environment. His tea house, Madame Zuzu's, is right around the corner from the parade route, and he does so much for the local community. And hearing that this young man was going through some struggles, he wanted to make sure that we were putting an event together while being there, kismet of sorts. If we're going to already be there, let's do something, for the actual locals. And that's where he came up with the idea of HP Cares for Cooper. We're going to have, I believe, 10 matches over the course of the day. Show starts at 2 o'clock there at the rec center. Everybody's welcome to come. Again, just a basic donation will get you through the door. And obviously, we're hoping that everybody there could be there. And we're hoping to really raise a lot of funds. We have a couple groups that are local sponsoring us, like Auto House, Walking Tall, Let Us Entertain You. The list goes on. And it's good to see the community coming out and also donating money to help out with that cause and everything going on.
Absolutely. It's HB Cares for Cooper from the NWA. This Saturday, 2 p.m. Central, be at the Recreation Center of Highland Park. Tickets are available if you're going to be in the Chicago area, nwatix.com. Also go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com to see the card, and they have ways to donate even if you're not going to be there. If you feel compelled to donate to this young man and in his fight, do so, nationalwrestlingalliance.com. He is Kyle Davis. He is one of the COOs for the National Wrestling Alliance. Follow him on Twitter at Kyle Davis ATL. Kyle, man, I appreciate the time. I hope it's a huge event this Saturday, a huge success. Hope you raise a lot of money, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you for having me on, guys. Be safe, treat each other well. World's crazy out there.